What's
up,
guys?
guys? Welcome back.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
That's very sweet. Welcome back to the Two Honks podcast, where we leave no honk unturned. My name is Joe Little. Sitting to my right here is Stephen Lamar Costin. I don't think I've ever actually used your full name before.
Yeah, it sounds like you're mad at me when you say it like that.
Well, I mean, I hope I don't sound mad. I'm not mad. I'm okay.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
You're fine.
You're fine. But you know, we got to wrap a little bit first here. I don't want to break tradition. I'm not going to break. I'm a little steamy today, but I'm not going to break to tradition.
A little steamed.
How are you today, Lamar?
I'm doing okay.
You're doing okay?
Yeah, how about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's good.
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
I'm a bit steamy.
I can tell you're steamed.
I'm a steamed guy today. And this is why.
How's that?
I feel like we need to apologize to the listeners.
You think so?
I think we need to apologize because the last two episodes got a little bit out of hand.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily our fault. I mean,
Yeah, it's not really our fault.
Biden was out there watching us.
We didn't do anything
We were
to
trying to-
deserve this.
Yeah.
So we have a new concept, and we're going to kind of try and bring it back to ground level a little bit here today.
Get grounded again because, yeah, we got a little bit.
It got a little out of hand, and we didn't want it to. And if anybody hasn't listened to the last two episodes, we uncovered a conspiracy. Well, I mean, to be fair, it was uncovered by somebody else. We just talked about it.
Right.
And suddenly, one episode, we have 400,000 downloads, and the next one we have 4.
You do the math.
You do the math.
Because we don't want to do it. So
Yeah, we don't want to do the math.
we're not here to do math.
We want you to do the math. So, and then, you know, we go out to the woods. We think we're getting away from that. And Biden is out there sending his goons trying to shut us down. So,
Yeah. We're not going to stop, but we will take a little pause
yeah.
on, being so proactive about getting to the bottom of this conspiracy and all that stuff because, this is not a spoken word
Yeah.
Poetry podcast.
We get to the bottom of things here at this podcast.
Yeah.
We don't like to mess around too much, but
Eventually we will, but we do want to pause a little bit on that because
yeah.
we don't want to draw too much attention from Biden either. So
Yeah, exactly. So
got more important stuff to do.
if the listeners, I mean, if you thought we were getting a little bit offhand, I apologize, but not really. Because I feel bad, but I also don't at all.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
Feel bad, but you don't know why.
But anyway, moving forward,
Yeah.
we've got some good things on the docket this week, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we got some real thinkers here.
We got some thinkers here.
This is a thinking episode,
Yeah.
We
want you to think with us.
or
on this
for us.
episode.
you
Yeah.
know?
Preferably for.
Yeah.
That
That would be ideal.
Try it.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask you. So everything's been. I mean, I guess I drove to the campsite with you, and everything was fine.
Yeah.
Drove my car back.
Yeah.
Last weekend it was fine, but
Yeah, I drove it up there. It felt fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was fine. I'm fine.
It was fine.
But today on my drive over, my car was kind of like just making some funny sounds,
Yeah.
and I wondered if maybe, like, I don't know a lot about cars,
Yeah.
but I know that you maybe have.
What kind of sound was it making? Is there like an audible thing you can...
It was kind of like not quite a knocking, but like a brr, like a brr,
So it wasn't like a... It was more like a... brrr,
like a rrr.
like a... rrr.
Yeah. Now,
Was this when you were accelerating?
it was when I was on the highway
Okay.
coming down here.
Okay.
And I know when I was younger, I had a similar thing happen with my car. My dad told me that it was the cabin tubes.
The cabin tubes, huh?
Yeah, he said that the cabin tubes that are used for the heater hose
Yeah.
came off the steering column.
Didn't you replace your heater hose with a water hose?
Yeah, I did use a water hose. It was a garden hose when I bought it.
So it was a garden hose when you bought it, and then you made it a heater hose.
Yeah, and then I used the accordion tubes
Okay.
to attach that to the CV joint, and I thought maybe that should fix it, right?
Right.
And is that usually how it works?
Well, did you put in the grease axle? The grease axle with the accordion tubes and the heater hose?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, but the
Wait, what year is your car?
It's a 1997.
1997.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the calliope calipers might not have been diagnosed properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if your calliope calendar is not diagnosed, then you got to get the swimsuit edition.
Oh, really?
You got to get the swimsuit edition 1987, I think.
Oh, that's a
the
good
only
one. Yeah.
That's the only one that's compatible with the 97 is the 87. It's counterintuitive, but that's kind of the way it goes.
Does that fit snug with the bumper cable?
Swimsuit edition fits snug everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Okay.
always fits snug.
Open valve or closed?
Open valves, always.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe the accordion boots just weren't hooked up to the transaxle.
Well, your
properly or
accordion
something.
boots got to have open valves. You got to pop them on the sidewinder, and they have to be just spewing liquid everywhere.
Oh,
Because otherwise, you're not going to get your grease axle waxed up, and the CV joint isn't going to pop off.
I thought that. Okay, that's maybe what I
You
was
know?
doing wrong because I didn't
Yeah.
have it super greased.
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll crawl under the car after the pod here and take a look at the sidewinders.
Well, I pulled over on the way over here because I was
Yeah.
concerned with that sound, and I twisted the horn sheer off the buckle. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do, but the buckle shaft is actually twisted.
Wait,
now.
so you sheared off the horn off the buckle? Was that the buckle horn?
Yeah, the buckle horn. Sheared it right off the buckle shaft.
Sheared the buckle shaft off the buckle horn.
I used a quarter rounder to shimmy inside the buckle basket.
Did
but
you call Greg about that?
No, I didn't even think about that. I
Greg's
should've-
great with horn buckles.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the horn buckle guy, huh?
He's the real, he's a horn buckle champion.
Well, the shoe sheared off the engine block, so I got the horn is twisted right now.
Oh, okay.
So I might need to get a new horn.
Take some pliers and twist it back. You're probably going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, you just got to have liquid spewing everywhere.
Okay.
That's a sign that it's work. A lot of people think it's going to be broken.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
if there's liquid everywhere, but you got to get those screws as loose as possible because if liquid's not spraying on everything, it's not going to wax down the grease axles and your sidewinders aren't going to,
Yeah.
they're not going to engage because if you get swimsuit 87 in there, everything's going to fit real snug.
Swimsuit 87.
Yeah,
write that
swimsuit
down.
87.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah. Check it out.
Thanks for your advice.
Yeah, give it a shot. Yeah, no, I mean, it's car advice. We give car advice all the time here.
We're figuring. I mean, I learn something every day about cars.
Yeah, so I mean, if you got questions about your cars and you want to talk to us about your car, go ahead and shoot us an email, twohonkspodcast@gmail.com, or you can look us up, twohonkspodcast on Instagram or any other social media thing.
Slide us into your.
We don't have a Facebook though.
Facebook's like over, I think. I don't know.
Facebook sucks.
It's stupid.
Let's be honest.
I hate it.
Let's be honest about. Can we talk about how much Facebook sucks?
I hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like Facebook is just, it's turned from like the social networking thing that it used to be like all the cool college kids had it
Yeah.
because you had to have like a college email address to have one in the first place, right?
Right.
And now it just turned into like how everybody's grandma gets the news. You
It's
know?
kind of a circle jerk now.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like you just see what you want to see, and
That's why everybody's talking about, did you hear about their putting that back up tip and that back thing down there?
yeah.
That but that might go that back down there, that back thing get about down here down the road. You can't even tell what that back thing gonna do to you.
Yeah, your butt be falling. Your butt's gonna fall off.
Butt's gonna fall off. Pay $150, put that back thing back in your body. That's what you sound like. That's what you sound like to me. If
Yeah.
you're on Facebook and you're talking about how bad the vaccine is, that's exactly what you sound like. You go, break that, baby.
Get that back
Get down there, pay about $150. Get that back thing down there.
You want to put your butt back on, your butt fell off.
Yeah, to put your butt back on. Can't put it back on. Come back, being put butt.
Is I had something. I know we always try not to talk about butts, but
Yeah,
I had this pop into my head. Like I heard somebody say buttocks
buttocks.
is one half of a butt, right? It's like a mirror image. Is that a buttock? And then together they're buttocks.
I think one half of a butt is a buttock.
Is it? That's what I was thinking.
So
Buttock.
like if I was to touch like your butt,
Yeah.
or anybody else's butt, which hopefully I never do.
Yeah.
Let's hope it never comes to that.
Well, that's gross.
Let's hope our friendship never comes to that, Lamar.
Yeah, I poop out of that thing.
But if I was, to say, oh, hey, I brushed your buttock.
One side.
That would be it. Just one side.
It's like socks.
Yeah.
You have one sock. Two is a pair.
A pair
Is
is
it a
two
pair?
socks.
Is it a pair of buttock then?
Well, but it's also weird because like pants,
Yeah,
there's only one of it. There's two legs,
but
there's only one pant.
you can't lose one leg.
Yeah.
like a sock.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's all one unit.
Yeah,
So why is this one unit called pants?
A butt is a unit,
Yeah.
but it's two buttocks.
Yeah.
But it's not a pair of buttock.
Yeah, it's not a
Right.
pair of buttock.
Yeah, I think that the main thing I've learned from thinking about these things is, one, I'm a total idiot
Yeah.
for thinking about these things in the first place.
Yeah.
And two, our language is totally stupid as
Yeah.
well. Like, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, why do you think it's so hard for people to understand English?
Yeah,
That's why. Because English doesn't make sense.
because it's dumb.
Our language is dumb.
Like the word article.
Yeah.
Like, you left an article of clothing at my house.
Yeah.
Well, there's no other way that we use article except for like magazine articles or newspaper articles.
Yeah.
Right? An article.
I read this article the other day.
You left your article at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, the newspaper? No, your shirt.
Your shirt.
What?
Your article.
Your article, I said.
Your article of clothing.
Your articles are everywhere.
Can you stop leaving your articles everywhere?
Clean your articles up.
Clean your articles.
Just like newspaper articles and clothing everywhere.
What if you had a t-shirt that was an article of clothing that also had an article on it, like a magazine article?
Like a really fine print.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many listeners do you think we're losing by having this conversation right now?
I will tell you this. I've seen people with those shirts
Yeah.
that have like a ton of text on them. And
Yeah.
I wonder, like, it's like a bumper sticker that has like a paragraph. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not going to have time to read that.
Yeah,
You're
no.
going to be staring at somebody's shirt for a long time to read that. And that's going to get awkward.
Like, what was the one I saw the other day? It was a really long one, but I still ended up reading it. It was, it said, "We've gone from a John Wayne society to a pee-pee poo-poo society." I really liked that one.
Oh, yeah.
Because I kind of agreed with it, I mean, we sort of are kind of pee-pee poo-poo now.
What does that mean, though?
I mean, we're just kind of, we're not that great anymore. We used to be like a society of tough guys, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think we were?
No, I don't.
I mean, I guess maybe we had that image that we projected.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting discussion right there. So, like, when America was like the major power of the world in the 1950s, right?
Yeah.
Like post World War II, we were fucking on top. Everyone wanted to be us.
We were actually making like products and stuff.
Do you think that people legitimately weren't as sensitive as they are now?
Right.
Or is that just something boomers make up?
Well, I would say like one thing that's really changed since like the Great Depression era, like my grandma's generation,
Yeah.
is that they lived in really uncomfortable circumstances. And like we were talking about Alex Honnold, like,
Yeah.
saying like nothing great comes from being comfortable.
Yeah.
There is kind of that like they definitely suffered through a lot of uncomfortable circumstances. No heat,
Yeah.
no shoes,
Yeah.
like no food for some days or whatever. So I could see how like being having all the comforts we have now
Yeah.
so cheap maybe makes us like kind of more like agitated when things aren't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, makes us a little bit more inflexible
Yeah.
when things get tough.
So, like, if boomers are saying we're too soft now, like, how do we get back to that? Do we just, like, take away everybody's shit?
No
Like,
internet
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Hey, I know you guys, like, live your life with this stuff, and you've, like, you've appreciated the luxuries over the last several years, but we're just going to take that all away so that you can be tough and strong again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Donald Trump, you want to make America great away and great again? Just take away everybody's shit. Just take all of it. Trump 2024, baby. Let's lose everything.
Let's take everybody's.
Lose it all.
Nobody gets Amazon accounts anymore.
Is
That's
that
the restart.
I saw David Cross's stand-up, and it was while Trump was still president. He was like, guys, I don't know. I'm I'm just starting to regret voting for Donald Trump. I did it ironically, let the world burn.
As a joke.
Yeah. Just did it as a joke, and then he ended up there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wonder if that's like most people. They were like, just see what happens.
Yeah.
I do think that like maybe some of the reasons that people might say that people are softer nowadays is also because since we have material comfort and we have like the ability to like not have to worry about as much about basic needs.
Yeah.
We actually have time to develop our higher skills and emotional things that nobody had time to deal with back then. You had to worry about getting food and like surviving. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Once you get up to like the upper tiers, it's a softer and more nuanced kind of environment to be in.
Yeah, rather than just focusing on like food, shelter, and sex, we like have those things just handed to us, and we focus on everything else around it.
Well, we have time to like get lost in the upper echelon there, which could be. I mean, it could be productive, it could be counterproductive. Yeah,
exactly.
But you don't really necessarily have time to like, ruminate and think about all these like ego issues.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
You're, starving.
Can we pause real quick?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No. Okay. But anyway, now we're back. Sorry, guys. I had to take a bereavement. Is that a right word? Is that leave? I just had to leave.
I had to leave.
I had to leave for a couple seconds.
You took a pee. You were left to pee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't want to tell them that, but now they know. Yeah, I just went pee, you guys.
Yep. We'll put some
big whoop. But anyway. So we're talking about how we're getting softer and like how maybe boomers complain that we're getting softer, and it was something that I talked about a little bit with you yesterday.
Yeah.
And I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to talk about it on the podcast, but now I'm certain.
Yeah.
Now I just want to bring it up.
Okay.
So Bill Maher, right?
Yeah.
He's like I don't know, he used to be like the progressive hero of freaking any newscasting source, right?
Was he? Yeah.
Wasn't he like a Democrat guy?
I think he was kind of like, I feel like he was always a little more conservative than like Jon Stewart, but kind of similar kind of.
But he was still very like left leaning.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he does this thing the other day, and somebody like just posted it on Instagram. It came up on my feed, but I watched this guy's video, and he's just basically used like a whole 4-minute span to just talk shit on people that were 18 to 34 years old.
Yeah.
And before I tell you what my problem is with it, I'm just going to tell you like generally what he said. Mm-hmm. So first things first, he said he gave us some statistic. He goes 33% of people that are 18 to 34 years old think that communism would be a good idea. Right?
Okay.
And he goes a little bit further and he says, something like 28% of people that are 18 to 34 years old think that it would be a good idea to abolish police. Not defund the police, abolish police. And he makes a very passionate point of this. He's banging on the table. Like, really, he's trying to get your attention. And then at the end of it, he starts going on iPhones. He's like, well, maybe I'm better off because I'm not glued to my iPhone and I don't have to get all my information from this iPhone. And
because he doesn't have one or what?
I mean, well, I think he fucking does. I mean, how would you think Bill Maher uses a flip phone? Is that something you could type into Google? What kind of cell phone does Bill Maher have? But anyway, this is my problem with it. So, first thing he says is 33% of people 18 to 34 years old think that communism would be would be a good idea.
Right.
But my question for him is, what's 33%? 33% is a minority of people that are in my age demographic.
Yeah.
That's not the vast majority of us.
Right.
Like, I don't think communism would be a good idea either. But what he's done here is just highlighted a negative minority statistic to bash a group of people.
Yeah.
Which is, it's ageist. It's bullshit is what it is.
Sounds like he's just trying to create something from nothing, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next thing he said, the exact same thing with abolishing the police. Like, I don't believe in defunding the police. I believe in abolishing the police. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And But, sorry, the door opened and I got distracted. But anyway, and then the thing that he does at the very end of that is he talks about iPhones.
Yeah.
And this is what gets into our main topic right here, is because iPhones are a product of emergence, right?
Right.
Because iPhones are something that have been created and developed over time.
Yeah.
And it's literally become a part of human evolution. Everybody has one. Everybody's got one in their pocket,
Right.
and they use it as their source of information. They use it to film video. They use it to take pictures of their family. It's more than just talking to your auntie that lives across the country from you now.
Right. Well, I was telling you in my neighborhood, I've like even seen like almost every single person that I see who's houseless, sleeping next to a building on the street or whatever, has a phone, and they're like scrolling through.
Yeah.
And it's astounding to me that what seemed like a luxury, it's something that if you had a house, you probably had a phone.
Yeah.
Now you don't need to have a house to have a phone.
Yeah.
And like in most cases that they have phones.
Yeah.
It's kind of like surprising to me that that's just integrated now. If you're a human being, you have a phone.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's selfishly, this is giving me an opportunity to just like capitalize on the fact that I'm not an old fogey.
Yeah.
I support the smartphones.
I'm not old yet.
I'm not that old yet. I still think smartphones are a good thing and that people can use them for information and to contact people from all over the world.
Right.
We're connected and we can use it as a good thing. It's not all bad.
That's like the difference between
Yeah.
like, the people who are just totally out of touch is that they're like against
Yeah.
the general wave of what's happening. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
not embracing like the hive mind of humanity, which is embracing technology as a whole, then you're probably out of touch.
I'm not embracing the hive mind because I was born in the 1950s, and because I'm not using a smartphone as much as you, that makes me better than you.
Does that make him punk rock though? In a way,
does it? Is Bill Maher punk now?
Is he punk rock?
Is he the new punk rock?
Because if you're going against the system,
Yeah.
and the system is an emergent system that is incorporated with technology, and he's against it, I think he might be punk rock.
But I mean, and he makes it all sound. He speaks very eloquently, right? He makes it all sound very good and very convincing. He's like, and I believe in this because I wasn't born yesterday. But the fact of the matter is the core of your argument, you're just saying, I'm old and this scares me.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it because I'm scared. So who's soft? Who's soft, Bill Maher? All right, I'm getting worked up.
I was gonna put that's what she said in there, but who's soft? Okay,
Yeah,
but
fucking already got Biden after us. Now we're gonna have Bill Maher knocking down the door.
yeah.
Heard you were talking shit because he's punk rock now.
Well, he's punk rock, so you never know. He's gonna ride his skateboard over here,
Yeah, exactly.
print out his directions from MapQuest, and find us.
But anyway, so that leads us into Emergence, right?
I think we talked about Emergence on like one of our very first episodes.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the research under our wings.
Yeah.
And I still honestly have no idea what it means, even though I've read a little bit about it. It's a phenomenon that like is really subtle. Mm-hmm. It's gross and subtle because it's like it basically just means it's a property that emerges from a system of things that is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
So everything that we see can be considered emergence.
Yeah.
Like we're emergent out of the cells and proteins in our bodies.
And like just to kind of maybe catch the listener up a little bit. So Emergence is essentially a collection of bits and pieces that creates a whole. So any idea or concept that is a collection of bits and pieces that creates a whole, that's a product of Emergence. If you were to break down Emergence to its tiniest level, you would look at all the atoms and the molecules in your body and how they connect to form you, the human being. That is a product of Emergence.
And then our consciousness, our awareness is another emergence that comes, and nobody understands how any of that works.
Yeah.
Like, we do understand how the cells in our body communicate to form organs and stuff like that. We don't really understand how they know how to differentiate the specialties of each organ. But.
And I think the most obvious example of emergence is like the stock market.
Yeah. Like, or I was thinking like the murmuration of like starlings and stuff in the sky when you see like birds forming those crazy formations.
Yeah.
And they like all move at the same time, or schools of fish. That's also emergent because no one in that school of fish or in the bird thing is like leading. Nobody's orchestrating it.
Yeah.
But somehow together they move as one organism.
Yeah.
And so that's like, you can see that shape from a distance and be like, wow, it looks like a whole, like a bigger being, like this whole thing of birds moving as one unit. But none of them are aware or that we know of is controlling that.
Yeah.
Nobody's steering that.
Yeah.
They're just doing it all together as if they're connected in some kind of like, you know, like collective consciousness kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, we're all connected one way or another. It's either we're a colony of world savers, or we're a parasite that's just leeching off the earth. I think most people would stare at humanity from a third person perspective and say that this is a parasite, right?
I don't know.
Because our road systems are a product of emergence. We created those so that we could get to one another.
Yeah.
But no one person sat down and said, hey, this road system needs to all be here. Right. It was a collection of people that came up with that.
Yeah, we were talking about how, like, because emergence is also kind of a fractal property.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at any kind of fractal or, like, snowflake design, like, those are the emergent properties. They are kind of recurring throughout nature. Like, in the same way you're talking about roads and, like, our blood vessels. Like, all the things in the way our neurons work in our brains and stuff is kind of, like, also mirrored in everywhere in nature that we look. Yeah. It's like we can't help but reproduce what's inside of us and what we're made of.
Yeah. No, and I mean, we can't... I mean, we're basically on this earth to just, reproduce and create more systems of emergence just because of the fact that there's more people in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
Because what did we have? Like, maybe we can talk about this too. Like, what did we have before we had emergence?
Was there before?
I mean...
Before we emerged?
If you go back to like Genesis in the Bible, you know, whether you believe that's real or not.
Yeah.
You look at the systems that exist in that book, right? When there's only two people on the world, there's Adam and Eve, right?
Oh, okay.
So there's no emergence in that society because all that exists is a God in the sky that says this is true and this is what you believe and this is what you have to do.
Right.
So there's no emergence that exists at all.
Right.
The place where emergence starts to happen is when you start reproducing people and creating systems to try and make life easier.
Right. Maybe
you know?
Like civilization or something.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you can go straight up until like the 1100s or the 1200s and there's no emergent systems because everybody just does things based on primarily like religion. You know,
right, and that's kind of one of that article we were reading about how things have kind of come from like a authoritarian style is kind of like coming from that and being told from a religious perspective what's going on is kind of pre-emergence, and now we're like going beyond that. We're going beyond religion. Yeah, in a way, like we're still living in kind of an authoritarian power structure. Yeah, in terms of our money and like things like that. But even our economy and the stock market and cryptocurrency is a great example of an emergent market. It's like totally in flux all the time. It's not like somebody's just setting this stuff up. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, and that's the other thing too. Is like, is it an emergent system, or are we all just being lied to? Are we all just in this like little box that's being manipulated by some kind of greater power that we could never understand the magnitude and force of?
Do you think Biden's watching us right now?
I think he is. I fucking think he is, man.
We're supposed to not talk about that.
We're supposed to not.
We're trying to...
Getting hot.
We're trying to move away from Biden.
We're getting hot.
We're getting off getting off that.
Getting off subject here.
Getting off the watch list.
Talk about emergence. Let's talk about how Biden just emerged. Happens when you put a child molester in the White House. Whole world's gone to shit. I voted for the president. I didn't vote for the president of space. Biden.
Biden and Musk.
Taking over space. Did you hear? It's a little bit of off subject. Did you hear about this? They're literally trying to tell us that, hey, straight up, aliens exist and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're there.
Well, they started breaking that like a couple of years ago. They had released some like classified video of one of those crafts like moving all crazy.
Yeah.
And then, like now they're just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Obama was like, oh, yeah, I've seen them every day for
there.
like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, they're always up there.
But the whole public's just being like, it's Israel-Palestine. Whose fucking side are you on? Yeah. This matters. Are you Jewish? I need to know.
I'm just binging The Sopranos.
Yeah, you're binging The Sopranos, so there you go.
A little La La Land.
Yeah, exactly.
But I did find, we're talking about Emergence here.
Yeah.
I did find that cool article about ants that the Stanford researchers did. That was pretty cool. And this is like an old article. I think it's from like 2012 or something.
Yeah.
But long story short, people have been studying ant colonies and stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's like, tons of different species of ants, but they all kind of have a way of differentiating roles. Mm-hmm. All the ants are basically capable of doing the similar tasks, but somehow they're differentiated into like doing different things. Some of them stay in the colony, in the nest, and like guard it or whatever, I don't know what they do, party, like hang out. And some of them go out and like look for food or whatever. Some of them like defend the thing. So they're studying them, and they kind of did like an in-depth research to see how these ants decided how many would go out. Like, I guess they couldn't figure out how they decided. They just like watched them to see how many they sent out to find food. And they found that like the relationships between the amount of ants that they sent out to find food and whether the ants found food and brought it back and whether they sent more ants out after that, like they watched all of that stuff. And they found that the ratios between all of those, like the when you break it down to percentages, the way that they send those ants out to find food is like exactly correlated to the way that our internet system that we've developed uses the transmission protocol, control protocol, the TCP IP.
Okay. And how is that?
And it's basically like when we want to send information, or if we're downloading information from the internet, like now we just get online, we like look stuff up. But what's actually happening is every little bit of information is like a packet, and it has to request for the packet, and the packet's sent to us. So when you request the packet, it's kind of like sending the ants out to get food. And when the packet gets sent back, it's kind of like the ants coming back with the food or the information in our case. And basically once it gets that signal that there's food, or you get the information, like you start getting your porn or whatever it is. Yeah. Then it like
probably porn.
Yeah, mostly I'm assuming porn. Yeah. It's like mostly what it's for. So once it gets that information, it knows how much is available now because it got a success signal back.
Oh, okay.
So now it can send more out and ask for a bigger packet back.
Just to make sure I'm following you correctly. Yeah. So the ants send out one ant to get food.
Well, let's say that. Yeah. It's probably more than one, but yeah.
Well, yeah, just hypothetically. Yeah. But like say they send one out to get food.
Right.
This one ant gets food, comes back to the colony and reports that, oh, hey, I got food here. In which case they'll send out more ants.
Right.
To find other places to get food.
Yeah.
Just like the same way.
And they'll send out more if they find more. So it's like, and it graduates the same way. So like they'll get.
So it's the same way a code finds information on the internet then.
It's not the code as much as the bandwidth. So like if it gets a success signal and you start downloading that porn image, you remember back in the day it would be all blurry. Yeah. And it would slowly resolve. And that's because it was limited to a certain amount. Yeah. So they would send out not as many ants, just enough to slowly start bringing more food back in. But if it's like, if they bring back a bunch, it's basically like, oh, let's get a bunch more ants out there.
Yeah.
Then everything comes back really fast.
Yeah.
So they can, in computer terms, it would actually ask for a bigger file size.
Yeah.
And it would get a bigger packet of information because it knows it has more bandwidth. So it can speed up the transmission.
Wow.
So the ants do the ratios are exactly the same as how we do that with a computer.
Well, yeah, and isn't an ant colony or an anthill a product of emergence as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has its own network too. It's like,
yeah.
The other interesting thing is if they send the ants out, we still don't know how these ants are understanding that they're selected to be the ones sent out for food and stuff like that. Nobody really gets that.
How do they communicate that?
It's the same as like the birds like forming that strange shape in the sky. It's like nobody is really necessarily aware of it. It's just understood that you're going to go to get the food.
Or like the school of those like silvery looking fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
Too. That's another good example of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is they like...
Dick lighter, by the way. This lighter's a penis.
Oh, shoot.
Thank you.
Is that a type of bowl session?
I think it's a type of bowl session. But anyway, go on.
So like if they send out some ants to get food or whatever, and the ants don't come back...
Yeah.
In that scenario, they don't send any more ants out. Right. So that's and then like from like a logical perspective, that's like, oh, well, maybe they ran into trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not going to go send more to die or to go defend them.
Yeah.
They just let it go and they don't send any more ants out for a while.
Well, and I think the main idea here is not a single one of those ants actually has the level of intelligence to just figure that out on their own.
Right. That's what's interesting about it too.
It's cumulative knowledge.
But in that scenario where they send ants out, they don't come back.
Yeah.
That's what we receive in our computer terms is like a timeout request.
Yeah.
When you send information to download that porn image,
but your connection isn't strong enough or whatever,
it can't return the packet.
Yeah.
You get a timeout 404 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, oh shoot.
The 404 with the little dinosaur that does the
could be a dino.
Little thing there.
It could be a dino.
Just looks like this.
Yeah. Or a giraffe.
Yeah. Or I think it's a dino.
Is it?
It's got little short arms. The dinosaur thing.
Oh, right.
Oh, hey, if you know what the error 404 image looks like, go ahead and shoot us an email at the twohonkspodcast at gmail.com or just shoot us a direct message on Instagram, twohonkspodcast on Instagram. Like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
You know what? We don't say that enough.
Should we say it more?
I think we should say it more. I think we should get people to like and subscribe more often.
We don't have enough subscribers.
Yeah, we don't.
You know?
I don't think we have any subscribers on YouTube.
We have no views.
We have two subscribers. You know who the subscribers are? Yeah. You and me. It's because Biden's getting in the way of it. Son of a bitch.
Come out here and fight me like a real man, Biden. All right, we're not supposed to talk about that.
Not supposed to talk about it.
We're not supposed to talk about butts.
I'm getting hot. While we're on hot button subjects, here's another hot button subject. Stop sending us pictures of your poop.
Yeah, we thought that would stop.
I thought it was going to be over. But they just keep on pouring in. Okay, on to the next thing. But anyway, so there's...
So I thought that was pretty cool,
yeah.
though, especially the 404, like, error request.
Well...
Ants come back, don't come back. It's like, you're not getting any information. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's how like most of nature and most of humanity itself operates, right? Is emergence. So like, and that's why I wanted to bring up the Bill Maher thing, and that's why I have a beef with Bill Maher, because
I don't trust him. He's a punk rocker.
To not accept emergence in pretty much all of its forms is to be a complete idiot.
Yeah.
You know?
Stupid idiot.
Like sitting there and just saying, this is new and I don't understand it, so it scares me, is like, you're literally not accepting the direction that's the society you live in is taking you.
Right.
You know? So like, what are you going to do now? Like, is it just you versus the world? Are you going to move out to the woods and poop in a bucket for the rest of your life, Bill Maher? What? I want to see what kind of phone he has. Like, what kind of fucking phone do you have?
What if flip phones...
I want to see him shooting a text on his iPhone and smack it out of his stupid hand. Little idiot.
I think he might be stupid or something.
I think he might be an idiot.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
These old people that are like punk rockers all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. When did that happen?
When did old people become punk rock?
Yeah. They just turned into like the most badass generation.
There's like, I don't like technology. I don't want to be part of your system, man. It's like, jeez.
You can't be part of the system, man.
Such rebels.
I think my own father was like, when I was like rebelling at like 19 and 20 years old, super punk rock all the time. He was like, well, you know, one of these days, Joe, you're going to have to settle down. You're going to have to get a job. You got to be part of society.
Yeah.
I talked to that man about like any kind of politics days. I vote for that guy because he's got balls. He's got really big balls, and that's what matters to me. I want a president who's fucking tough. That's not how my dad talks, but but that's what it sounds like to me.
He wants a John Wayne president.
Yeah.
That's
He wants a John. We've gone from a John Wayne society to a pee-pee poo-poo society.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with that, but I like my pee-pee poo-poo society.
Is that why we talk about poop so much on this?
Maybe I think that has probably got something to do with it.
You know, back in the day, people were too busy trying to like eat. They didn't have time to poop.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But I mean, I guess the emergence is a wonderful concept for people to understand. I feel like everybody should understand, and that's why it's a great thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Is because if you understand emergence, like just the concept of it, you don't even have to understand what's happening in the world on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, right.
But if you understand emergence and you see things going a certain direction, if you know what the concept is, you can follow it. You know? Oh,
right.
Hey, this is emergence. That's the way society is going. Oh, shit, let's see how we can help. Rather than just sitting at the side and being like, I'm old and this scares me.
Yeah. Well,
You
what's
know?
also interesting, too, is like the American evolution has been like individualization.
Yeah.
Right. And like individual interest. And like that's something that maybe wasn't as emphasized in that older generation.
Yeah.
Was more like, I don't know, like a collective, like we're doing this together for the country or whatever.
Yeah.
And now we're like, oh, I don't know. I like, you know, this kind of.
Got really into shoegaze last week.
Yeah. I like tofu with like, you know, grass-fed tofu.
What kind of coffee do you have?
Yeah. So that's like.
Is this fair trade?
We've become really.
It's organic.
Really nuanced.
Yeah.
And like individualistic. And in a sense, that takes us away from this ability to move together like the ants do, where it's just like I'm you, you're me, we do this together, and like kind of this more like autonomous way.
But that's I guess the good and the bad thing about emergence is you can't necessarily fight it.
Right. I mean, you're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, it is what it is.
If you're not with the hive mind, then you're probably going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be one of those ants that doesn't come back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would recommend for our listeners I think a good visual way to look at emergence is to just YouTube starling murmuration, MURMURATION. That's the cool shapes that these birds form in the sky. It's like, it's pretty trippy. I mean, it looks like you're on drugs.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Nice. Murmuration.
Murmuration.
That is an awesome word.
Yeah. I think I probably showed you some of these, but
yeah,
they're pretty dope.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean,
you've probably seen shit like that too before.
Oh yeah.
Just like cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool shimmery shapes. And same with the schools of fish where one side's silver or whatever. It's like they start forming these cool, like you'll see things like clouds. You'll see like animals appear. It's like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
It's a bear.
No, I've seen that before. Oxbow Park in Reno, Nevada. There's a lot of starlings that hang out around there. So I've seen that before. They just kind of.
I've seen it. Yeah, they're very mushroomy and they're the way they move around
throughout the sky.
Accordion tubes.
Yeah, accordion tubes. But yeah, that's great. But anyway, I think in the description of this episode, I'm going to link the little Bill Maher rant that I talked about, so that way people can get some context.
Is he punk rock? I'd like to hear.
Yeah, I would like to hear the listeners' thoughts on this.
Are we the people that are just old and like out of touch?
Have we become the lame, old, out of touch ones, and Bill Maher's just the punk rocker, or is it the other way around? I don't know. I don't understand.
Are all of us just lame old people
Yeah,
now?
go ahead, shoot us a message, twohonkspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts.
Are we lame or punk rock?
Yeah, are we lame or are we punk? I don't know. Define me. Because I can't do it for myself.
Tell me who to be.
Yeah. And just so you know, the background noises, listeners, are my wife, our friend Bryce, and my child all putting stuff in our van.
Got some stuff, putting it in a van.
Yeah, we're putting some stuff in a van. It's our closest thing to an RV, so Sarah's setting it up with a little bed. She's got some blankets in there, a little rug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Party van.
Don't have a kitchenette or anything like that, but
Yeah.
yeah. If background noises bothered anybody, that's too bad. So whatever.
Yeah, we're just kind of punk rock, so that's how we do things.
Yeah, that's just how we do it. Guess that makes us the punk rockers.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah. But anyway, that's all the ideas that I wanted to impart.
Yeah.
I think we've got a pretty good length podcast there.
I mean, I don't really know. I still don't really understand. My brain can't really understand the full magnitude of emergence. I think it's kind of a mystery. Maybe that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a trippy concept. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I think, but I mean, it's a trippy concept. It's an existentialist concept, but it is something that just occurs in our day-to-day life.
It's happening, and it's like
you can't deny it. Nobody can deny it.
Yeah. It gives me some reassurance that like even though like we're all gonna die like pretty soon or whatever.
Yeah.
That there is like some greater shape that's happening with society as a whole. Like
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad, like we are all part of something that's happening. Mm-hmm. And it probably has its own, this thing that we're part of has its own mind in a sense.
Yeah.
That each of us is only a tiny part of some kind of collective consciousness that has some greater plan. It sounds almost religious in a way, but it's more like, I guess, like we have like a spiritual direction or something.
Yeah, but it's not religious, though. I mean, it's the opposite of religion, almost.
It's science.
Because, I mean, what is religion? Because religion is like one person that's in a position of power that knows a better way to live than you do, so they just tell you how to live.
Yeah.
Religion is the opposite of emergence.
Right.
Because emergence is the collective mind. Like, it's just things that come out of what we are.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it can change life for the better and it can change it for the worse. But I'm having a hard time thinking of an example where emergence changed life for the worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's just kind of, it's like it's almost like the Tao, like the natural flow.
Yeah.
It's not really, can't fuck with it.
Yeah, because emergence, while it might be hard to deal with, you eventually learn how to live with it. And everybody learns how to live with it because it's just...
Except for Bill Maher doesn't learn how to live with his phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's always going to be those old guys, right?
There's always those old punk rockers that just don't want to get in line.
They just don't want to get in line.
You know?
They don't want to shape up.
Just riding their
Go get a job.
Riding their skateboards with their flip phones, just like flipping everybody off.
Can that please be the new thing? Boomers start going to thrift stores buying skateboards.
Just flipping everyone off.
Grinding rails and flipping everyone off.
Just smacking people's smartphones out of their hands.
Fuck you, iPhone. Fuck you, iPhone? Get that shit out of your hand. Old. I'm old and society scares me. That's why I bought a skateboard and started flipping everyone off.
That's the future I want to live in.
Listen to this band, Flasks of Masks.
Flasks of Masks.
All the band members are 50 to 70 years old, and they're punk as fuck, man.
Yeah.
They're the best.
They're just not a part of the system. That's the best thing about them.
No, that's a crazy thing. I've never thought about that before. Old people are the new punk rockers.
I think so.
They're the new independent thinkers.
They don't like technology, and they're not a part of it.
Yeah, they're not a part of it. They don't want to fuck with this. They're better than that.
They know that it's stupid, and they don't want it.
I'm not a part of your system.
Exactly.
I'm an adult.
My dad's not a cell phone. Yeah.
Shout out Andy Sandberg.
Amby Sanders.
I don't even like Amby Sanders that much, I'll be honest with you.
Amy Sanders?
He did some funny stuff. Whatever.
He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy. But anyway, was there any other ideas you wanted to impart in this episode?
I think we pretty much covered the stuff that I had here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. That was a good episode. I liked that. I liked that we got to step away from our conspiracies and forget about our problems for a minute.
Yeah.
Though we might have created some more problems just because of this episode, but
I hope we get some more write-ins on our email, twohonkspodcast@gmail.com for car talk. We want to help people with their car issues.
Yes.
Joe's an expert, and I'm getting better as well. So
yeah, I'm pretty much expert level.
You're
mechanic.
like AA, triple expert.
I'm a AAA expert.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Double A's.
Yeah. I use double A's because I'm a AAA expert.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just what we do. So if you got car questions, car advice.
Yeah. Also relationships. We're both pretty good with that. So
yeah, I mean, really any kind of advice. We're really good at like everything collectively.
Yeah, I guess so. Pretty much everything.
Yeah. I mean, as a product of Emergence, we're smarter than everyone.
The thing is that we're just better. So the thing a lot of people don't understand is that we just work because we have no ego.
Yeah.
We work like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to like deal with like, oh, I don't know. Is it like
no, I mean, we're not egotistical. We literally are better than you.
Yeah.
So
it's really just we're enlightened.
Yeah.
So
I mean, most people aren't, and a lot of people can't handle that, and maybe that's why Joe Biden's trying to shut us down.
Could be.
I don't know.
We're not going to talk about that.
I don't
know.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
should we give this one a year?
Yeah. Till next time.
Year.